Hello again. Wanted to share some information with you about book reports that are coming due in a couple of weeks. The kids have done 2 already this year, but I thought let's go ahead and talk a little bit more in depth about the book reports. Most of you have seen them already, just kind of want to review a few things. Book reports are a good way for the kids to show their understanding of a book that they've read this quarter. They're doing 1 book report per quarter. Your child has a book report folder. We've labeled it at the beginning of the year. It says book report on the front. They have 4 sections already ready for them. They should currently be in the 3rd section of their book report. Each book report requires them to have a cover. The cover is provided for them. It has 2 pieces of notebook paper for them to complete their report. If they need more, they're welcome to put in more. Their scoring guide is the 3rd thing in each section. This is what I use to grade their book report. Their instructions are at the front of their book report folder. And if I go through this, it says, when you are finished with your book, write a letter to Mrs. Howe following the guidelines. Then they have to make and label a piece of paper with their book title, author, their name, and the date. This is probably the most common thing missing, and I told the kids these are easy points. All you have to do is write these 4 things on the blank piece of colored paper in there. It's easy points. Put the page numbers on their Post-it notes and put them inside your folder. They do need to have a parent signature, so please make sure you are looking at this before they turn it in. The following page in everyone's book report folder is how to write their teacher letter. It is 4 paragraphs, and it is very explicit on their instructions of what they need. The first paragraph is their summary. It's where they state the title in the first sentence. They tell the main characters and the setting of the story. They need to write a description of the summary, and they must include the beginning, the middle, and the end. It needs to be at least 7 sentences long. Most comprehensive summaries end up being quite a few sentences longer than that. I need to be able to gain an understanding that they understood what happened in their story. So please make sure they include the beginning, the middle, and the end of the story with an appropriate number of details within. Paragraph 2 is their thinking. This is where they take 3 of their sticky notes that they have been tracking their thinking on. It could be any type of reading strategy they've been using, any type of thinking that's been going on inside their head. The kids are supposed to sticky note this as they go. If they do not have any sticky notes, they can take notes on paper. We've talked about that in class. An example of their Post-it note thinking would be, my first Post-it note says, and then they will write what their Post-it note says. I wrote this Post-it because, and then they write down why they had that thinking. So an example might be, my first Post-it note says, I don't understand why Johnny did that when he knew he wasn't supposed to. I wrote this Post-it because it's not something I would have done because I would have known better. Some kids choose to write Post-it notes on words they don't know. My second Post-it says, I don't understand what this word means. I wrote this Post-it note because I can pronounce the word, but I'm not sure what it means when I've even used my context clues. Then they are supposed to name 1 thinking strategy they used during reading and explain how it helped them understand their book. Paragraph 3 is a rating and recommendation. Tell me what rating you gave the book and why you gave it this rating. We talked about on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best book you've ever read, 1 being the worst. Would you or would you not recommend this book to a friend? Why or why not? And we have talked about being descriptive. Don't just say, I liked it, I didn't like it, it's good. What's good about it? Just being a little more specific. Paragraph 4, what I learned. Tell Mrs. Howe what you've learned about yourself as a reader. It should be at least 2 sentences long. The kids have come up with some great things they've been learning about themselves as readers. They've talked about their reading too fast, reading too slow, reading for detail, reading longer books, reading more difficult books. They've come up with many different ways that they are developing as readers. So they're becoming more capable of sounding out words that they weren't able to sound out before. They're learning to use their thinking strategies more, And some kids have even said, I've learned that I need to start asking questions more. I've learned that I need to start monitoring my own reading. A wide variety of ways that students can fill out that. So this will be due in the next couple of weeks. Look in their planners for a due date for that. It's due by the end of the quarter, but I usually have the kids turn it in a little bit early so I can make sure and have time to get those grades in, get those graded and put in the grade book. So, and always kind of allow for a little bit of a couple kids turning it in late. So just a little bit of information for you on their book reports. I hope it's helpful, and check back soon. Thanks.